The mother of a disabled boy who was badly injured at an Auckland kindy says her son is too scared to go back and she wants answers about exactly what happened to him. 4-year-old Masua Tusa, or Sua as his mum calls him, has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair. While he was at Manurewa West Kindergarten last Wednesday, he suffered extensive facial injuries, including deep grazes with large patches of skin scraped from his nose, forehead and cheek. The police and Ministry of Education are both investigating. His mother, Milly Tusa, says she only heard of her son's injuries when she went to collect him as usual and was told by staff that he had tumbled down some stairs while strapped in his wheelchair. I went to meet Milly today with cameraman Nick Monro, and I started by asking her exactly what happened when she went to collect Masua.
So normally when I pick him up, he'll be waiting outside the window. So there's this window where you normally walk up the ramp. He'll be smiling and waiting for us. The day that I walked in, he was facing the wall opposite side with the teacher next to him. But it was quite unusual for me because he never sits there. He was playing with this little car. Before I walked in, I went to sign him out. And the teacher goes, "Oh, hi Milly, I've been trying to call you for four times now." And I was like, "Oh, what happened?" He goes, "Oh, just want to let you know that your son fell, he has a minor graze." And I was like, in my head I was thinking, oh, it must be a little scratch or a little bump. And the way she was saying it also sounded that way. So I walked inside. I was like, okay, ask my son, come on, let's go. I went to go grab his bag, turned him around, and he had this, his whole face was red. He looked so lost.
And the injuries to his face, can you describe those to me?
They looked more like burns. It looked more like he was dragged than he was just, as they say, he fell down the stairs.
So skin was missing from the side of his face?
It was like skin burns, raw burns on his face, from the top of his eyelid down. He had scratches over here. He had scratches on the top of his lip, and then he had scratches on his nose, but you could tell the swelling was coming on the top of his nose.
Let's pause for a minute here. If you're listening, let me describe the extent of Masua's injuries, and a warning, it's not pleasant. In photos taken within 24 hours of his accident, the 4-year-old has severe facial injuries, where the top layer of skin is gone. They're on part of his nose and upper lip. A large chunk of his left cheek is scraped raw, and his left eye is swollen shut. The red, angry-looking grazes continue along his eyebrow and between his eyes. They're also on the left side of his forehead, right up to his hairline. They're weeping, and they almost look like friction burns. What did you think when you saw him?
I thought they were a little crap. I thought it was lies. Because she told me she was standing in front of him when he fell. If she was standing in front of him, how would she let that happen? If she was supervising him, how did he fall?
This is a teacher?
This is an actual teacher.
So how did they explain the fall to you? What did they say happened?
She just said that she locked his wheels on top of the stairs. She put him on top of the stairs and she locked his wheels. She was standing in front of him on the bottom stairs. But she says she does not know if the child pushed him down the stairs or not. Which I don't understand she said that she was supervising him.
But the kindergarten teacher maintains that she was with your son the whole time.
She was with my son the whole time. She didn't say anyone else, she just said she was the one that was with him the whole time.
And how was he when you saw him that afternoon?
He was scared. He was traumatized. You could see the pain in his eyes. The only thing he was saying was, "Mommy, let's go. Mommy, go home." But the way the teacher was saying it was like, it was nothing. The way the teacher was explaining it to me, it was like she was saying that it was just a little scratch. Well, if she couldn't get hold of me, she could have taken him to the doctors. He fell down the wheelchair.
Did anyone take him to the doctor from kindy?
No. They just said that they were monitoring him, that it wasn't severe.
So he hit his head or scraped his face on concrete?
Yeah.
And no one took him to the doctor?
No one did. They just said all she was saying was she was cuddling him and she was just monitoring him because he didn't want ice pack on his face. They didn't take him to A&E, they didn't take him anywhere.
So did you take him to the doctor then?
Me and my brother and sister took him straight to A&E in Takanini. From Takanini, we took him to Papakura to get x-ray. And we waited there till 7 for the doctors to come. Even the nurses don't believe the story that they've told.
As a mum, what do you think of the way the kindergarten dealt with this?
I think it's unprofessional. There's only one child with disability in their kindy. When my son first got there, they did say they were able to look after him because of the hours that they gave us. They promised me that they were going to look after him properly.
You say they told you they tried to contact you. So did they mean on your mobile phone?
Yes.
Was there any evidence on your phone that you'd missed a call from the kindergarten?
No.
So no missed calls from the kindergarten?
They say they try to call me. They have all the numbers of our therapists. They have all the emergency numbers of my mom's number. If they couldn't get hold of me, and if they were really trying to get hold of me, they would have done everything they could.
Can you explain a little bit to us about Masua? Can he get around on his own?
Yes, he can. In a wheelchair, yes, he can. He can talk a little. He can use his words a little. Mainly he does hand movements, hand gestures, rather than talking. He understands really well. We speak to him 2 languages, Samoan and English, and he understands both languages really well. He was a happy kid.
A smiley, happy kid?
Yeah.
So in his wheelchair, could he have rolled himself to the stairs?
Not if there's a lock on. And he knows where to go, where not to go.
Let's go back to what they've told you about what happened. So at the top of the stairs, how was the wheelchair set up, have they said, and what have they said about the brakes?
She said that she put the brakes on. She said that she doesn't know how he fell, but then when she took him off the wheelchair, she said that she was testing the brakes and said that the brakes were still good, in good condition.
After the fall?
After the fall.
And what about the tray that sometimes sits on his wheelchair? Was that on when he had the accident?
She said there were scratch marks on there.
So can you explain to us where the tray sits when Masua is in the wheelchair and what that would mean in terms of him trying to reach the brakes?
So when the tray actually goes over his legs, which covers the wheels and the locks, so he's not able to move the wheelchair or unlock the wheelchair also.
So he can't get his little hands underneath the tray and undo the brakes?
No, he can't.
And there are 2 brakes, one on each wheel?
Yes.
And if the tray was on?
He can't unlock the wheels.
So he couldn't move the chair on his own in that situation?
Mm.
Can you describe the stairs to me? What are they like there and how many are there? A roundabout?
Roundabout 4 stairs. 4 wooden stairs, yeah. And then it hits the concrete. From the concrete, there's a little stand where the sand pit is in the corner.
How has Masua been since this happened?
He's starting to like to go places. When it happened, he mainly just wanted to stay with my parents, and my dad, my brother. He didn't really like going places because he was more embarrassed and more traumatized of his face than anything.
And how is he healing from those injuries?
From the injuries, he's healing really good. But emotionally, I don't think he's doing so well.
What has he said to you about what happened at kindy? If you talk to him, does he say anything about that?
I've asked him a couple of times and all he says is, "Mummy, naughty teacher. Mummy, naughty teacher." And that's the only words he'll always say. He wouldn't say anything else but teacher, teacher.
What have you decided about that kindergarten and him going there?
He's not going to go there ever again. I've literally pulled him out because it's heartbreaking. When you trust people to look after your child, especially a child with disability, a child that doesn't talk, it is heartbreaking. I don't know, it's very hard. Especially now when my son is too scared to go to school. He's traumatized. The only thing we can do is just move forward from it.
What do you want to happen in terms of the investigations and in terms of the Ministry of Education?
I want them to tell the truth. I want to know the full story. The story that they're telling me doesn't add up. For the sake of my child, tell the truth. Tell what really happened.
And that is Milly Tusa there. And the police have told Checkpoint that they're still investigating the incident. The Ministry of Education declined to be interviewed, but says Manurewa West Kindergarten notified it last Thursday that a child had been injured on site, and it too is investigating. In a statement, the ministry says in part that we visited the centre on Friday. While there, we reviewed the site for immediate safety hazards, gathered information on the incident, and were satisfied that children are safe to attend the centre. We also checked that the kindergarten was doing what it could to support its families. Now, the ministry says it has not received a formal complaint from the family involved. Meanwhile, the Tusa family say they complained directly to the police. The kindergarten has also declined an interview with Checkpoint while it works with the Ministry of Education during its investigation.